MLB Tonight, our trade deadline edition brought to you by Geico. Bob Nightingale saying the Astros are sending 2 minor league players to the Mets in the Justin Verlander deal. Verlander, of course, to much acclaim a year ago, winning the World Series with the Houston Astros. Things did not work out with the New York Mets, and now he's going back to Houston. I'm sure Steve Cohen will pay some money as well, but appreciates getting some young talent back. For more, let's go over to Joel and Steve.
Well, it's the move we were waiting for today, right? I'm playing the game here trying to find out who was in the trade. We know it's 2 minor leaguers. I expect it's a lot of money. And it just continues to me, Steve, to tilt where the Mets are and really where the Astros are. They want 6 straight ALCS. Verlander was part of 2 championship teams there and part of all these ALCS teams. They want to keep winning. You made a great analogy before about if your car is sitting still in this marketplace and others are moving, it feels like you're moving backwards. Texas made strong moves. The Angels made strong moves. And now, did the Astros just make the strongest move?
Yeah, they did. I think that you bring the pedigree in, the former Cy Young Award winner, your former guy. He fits right into the mentality of it. It's just such an interesting dynamic. So I love the teams acquiring the player, but I always like the logic on the other side. So I look at the Mets and I think, all right, you traded Scherzer, which I understood. His velocity was down, his spin rate was down. I get that, he had maybe deteriorated a little bit, but I don't really understand Verlander. Like, if you have any thought of winning next year and you're the Mets, why wouldn't you keep him? And this seems like a rather drastic, immediate pivot from where they were before. They won 101 games last year. They built up in the offseason to be a championship team this year. They spent $377 million this year, and now they're disassembling it like before our very eyes. And and it feels like this is ownership driven, not baseball department driven. And it probably is, and that's okay. When you're the owner, you can do it. And it really, I think, reflects upon that. I really do think that there's been a change in New York, that George Steinbrenner used to rule the Yankees, and Steve Cohen is the George Steinbrenner now of New York, where his logic and baseball decisions and financial wherewithal are leading to baseball decisions getting made. And what he wanted all along was he wanted to do what the Dodgers did. He always he loved what the Dodgers did. They threw money at it early, built up the farm system, then they could pull back on the money and compete in a way they had a feeder system coming all along. They're going to get the feeder system to a degree, depending upon how good the prospects are. But I'm just surprised because next year must not mean anything to them.
I don't think next year means anything to them. I think that he'll use his money to go out and get one. I wrote about this in a little thing called the New York Post. Go buy it. That I think that they're going to do 1- and 2-year contracts to try to, bulk it up. James Paxton and Lance Lynn, just try to be good and see where you are next July, and then either kind of sell those guys for more and go for it in 25, or if you're in it, you've built up your collateral, go for it next year. I do think he's not a half-measure guy. He went all in, and now he's going all out. That's Steve Cohen. You're Adnan Ver.
Joel, excellent job. Way to stick the landing. Appreciate you and Steve giving great insight. All right, Houston Astros, once again, you're a half game back right now, the Texas Rangers, but you just got Verlander. Now you're the favorite once again in that division. And as you were saying to me, experience matters for this Houston team. They've been there, done that, and so has Verlander.
That's why they were my World Series favorites. I like what they have. I like this Baltimore team, and I like some of the other teams that they're going to play. But you start putting that Texas team in a playoff series, you start looking at, okay, tit for tat, I can give you that these teams can be close. That experience down the stretch and in playoff games really matters to me, and it's why I got Houston.
Yeah, 2 big guys coming off the IL. They get Altuve back. They get Jordan back. He hits the big home run last night. If you're an Astros fan right now, 2 thumbs up. Trending upwards, you get a guy that's a legitimate ace, knows the organization, you know him, already won a World Series with the Astros. Lots to like about this.